Coming up on Cronkite Sports Report, we meet Devin Booker's #1 fan.
A dynamic pairing of Sun Devils.
And the inspiring story of Ryan Davies.
All that and more to come on Cronkite Sports Report.
Welcome into Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Blaine McCormick.
And I'm Taylor Rocha. As student journalists at ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication, we look to bring you unique sports stories with an Arizona connection.
We begin tonight with Jenna Warren. When she was born, doctors thought she would never make it out of the hospital.
Now, as Bailey O'Carroll tells us, 19 years later, she's a fixture at Phoenix Suns games.
She's always had this personality that just draws people, and you can't help but get to know her and love her.
Shoot a ball!
Every time I see her, she's just always happy, like screaming, no matter what the scoreboard is. She just always finds a reason to be happy.
Kelly! Kelly!
Every day she brings great energy, no matter what's going on in the world. I come out there and I go to pregame shoot and there's a smile on her face. So, it shows you the true meaning of life.
Jenna Warren loves the Phoenix Suns, taking Zumba classes, her parents, her dog Teddy, and Phoenix Suns star Devin Booker. She has Down syndrome, but those who know her best will tell you her infectious personality, contagious smile, and killer dance moves outshine her limitations.
She's always had quite the personality. In the hospital, they had on her incubator Genitude because they're like, she has got such an attitude.
19 years later, Genitude1 is her Instagram handle. She has over 10,000 followers. Her bio, it's simple and accurate. I love my sons and Devin's my friend. I love to ask him questions.
She loved it right away. Like, she was really enthralled with it. So we knew basketball was gonna be her thing.
What her family didn't know was going to be her thing, a friendship now 3 years strong with the NBA superstar. Before every home game, Devin comes out of the tunnel right behind me onto the court to get some warm-up shots up. Then he comes to meet Jenna right here in this corner where she's always ready with a question for him.
Who do you have for Super Bowl?
I'm going LA. I'm going with the Rams.
Who
do you think's going to win?
Rams.
Okay.
She has a problem with questions. And so we're always working on questions. So she has to think of a question, we help her formulate it, and then she has to ask them. I can always use Devin to get her motivated.
But Jenna's favorite moment with Devin, that's easy.
Days in New York.
Devin took Jenna and her family to the Big Apple for the NBA draft lottery in 2016. The two went to the NBA store, ate at Devin's favorite restaurant Carmine's, and then got some shots up in Central Park. But her favorite part of that trip?
The traffic. I love the traffic with them because we'd be sitting in the SUV, and we could be talking and goofing off with them. And, she was just with Devin, just right there with him.
Traffic. Most people would say that's their least favorite part about any city. But I guess when you're Jenna and you're stuck in traffic with Devin Booker, it's not so bad. And what Jenna loves most about him, it hasn't changed since they first met.
This is Devin. I'm happy.
If he was right here, what would you say to him?
I love him.
Yeah.
I said I love you.
Jenna treats everyone the same, from superstars like Devin to her Zumba instructor and everyone in between. Jenna considers everyone she meets a friend.
She's loving, energetic, and joyful.
There's so many emotions that she brings, and it's always cheerful and happy for sure.
She's amazing. She's beautiful. And love. A lot of love.
Jenna reminds us that sometimes a smile or a hug or even a little dance can make all the difference. And there's no doubt that wherever Jenna is, smiles and dancing are bound to follow. In Phoenix, Bailey O'Carroll, Cronkite Sports Report.
You can find Jenna anywhere the Suns are.
We shift gears to college football, where coaches scour the country looking for top talent.
As Caitlin Lemley explains, Arizona State is building a pipeline to its next-door neighbors.
Arizona State linebacker coach and recruiting coordinator Antonio Pierce knows all about the high school football talent in Southern California. Before he joined the Sun Devils, he was head coach at powerhouse program Long Beach Poly. There, he coached current ASU players Kobe Williams, Jermaine Lole, and Ashari Crosswell.
I mean, they've been living their dream. This is what they want to do, play college football. They're playing at a high level. They're starting. They're living out their dreams. I'm happy for them.
Pierce also coached against his now star linebacker Merlin Robertson.
I'm glad he's on our team. He was a nightmare for me for about 4 years. Tried to get him every year at Poly. I'm glad we're on the same team finally. It took a couple years, but we're together.
Robertson, Williams, Lole, and Crosswell are 4 of the 25 players on the current Sun Devil roster from Southern California. ASU struggled to draw players from the region towards the end of Todd Graham's tenure. The former head coach's last 2 recruiting classes included just 2 total players from the area. Improving the program's ability to sign players from Southern California was a focus for Pierce and head coach Herm Edwards from the moment they arrived in Tempe in 2017.
When this program has been at its best, it's had a lot of guys from that area, especially Los Angeles area, and we're trying to get those guys back out here.
Edwards and Pierce achieved their goal instantly. 8 of the 17 players in their first recruiting class were from Southern California. Securing these recruits, however, is no easy feat. Both Crosswell and Robertson had over 10 Division I offers each.
I chose ASU just for new beginnings and because of my coaching staff, like Coach AP, Coach Herms. They told me, like, I'm going to come in as a freshman and play, so I took their word, and that's why I'm here.
I chose ASU because I wanted to get away from home, and the coaching staff, you know, it was pretty cool, and I felt comfortable here as well.
As the recruiting coordinator, Pierce did his job in getting these highly sought-after recruits to sign with ASU. However, once these players arrive in Tempe, it is completely up to them to take advantage of their opportunity. But as freshmen, these players are bound to face struggles both on and off the field.
I say coming in here, you know, the different type of tempo, you know, it's way different from high school from coming in here. So you just got to be on point. You got to stay on your grind. You know, you can't just like get knocked off your pivot. You just got to keep doing what you're doing.
My physicality coming to the line and, you know, just being that strong, going against these linemen, that was my struggle last year. Off the field, my time management, I wasn't really good with that, you know, with managing my homework, school and everything. So I picked it up though.
Crosswell and Robertson both found fast success on the field in their freshman seasons. They both played in all 13 games. Crosswell recorded 35 solo tackles, 4 interceptions, and 1 fumble recovery. Robertson earned Pac-12 Freshman of the Year and Pac-12 Defensive Freshman of the Year honors, racking up a team-leading 77 tackles to go along with 5 sacks, 1 interception, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. But Robertson sees room for improvement on and off the field.
Man, it's just to be better than last season, just pick up my speed, not only with football, but, you know, just do better with my grades, bring my GPA up.
Robertson and Crosswell will have plenty of California company on the roster this fall. 8 of the 19 incoming Sun Devil freshmen hail from SoCal. In Tempe, Caitlin Limley, Cronkite Sports Report.
The Sun Devils' incoming recruiting class includes 8 players from Southern California.
Coming up next on Cronkite Sports Report.
The inspiring story of a runner navigating a road full of obstacles. Welcome back to Cronkite Sports Report. Born with a rare eye condition, one Valley man found running as his passion.
Now he runs and organized races with a driving purpose.
When Ryan Davies crossed the finish line at the Rock and Roll Arizona Half Marathon in January, he held high a photo of his late son, Grayson.
Gosh, you just hope he's just looking down because, I mean, you got to have the faith of that. You just got to have faith that he is looking down because you never know what's the afterlife.
Endurance running is a metaphor for Davies' life. He fights through his races with the same perseverance as he has the many obstacles life has given him. He and his wife Kayla lost Grayson at age 3 to a form of muscular dystrophy.
He was amazing. He was so weak, but he was so strong.
Ryan battles a rare eye condition, aniridia, that significantly limits his vision.
Even with this enlarged print, comfortable-wise, I read this close.
And his 7-year-old daughter Mackenzie also has the same condition.
I did not want that, and because I know the struggles.
But through it all, running has been his escape.
It freed my mind, And I felt like I was doing something that a lot of people don't want to do.
Racing medals are a common accessory in the Davies home. The next one he is hoping to add to his quickly growing collection? April's Boston Marathon. He earned a spot in Boston by beating the qualifying time for visually impaired athletes at the 2017 Buckeye Marathon.
I like to never give up because that's what I am. You know, in life, you fall down and you scratch your elbow or your knee, and right when I do that, I don't cringe on the ground and go, oh, that hurts. You know, I jump right back up. Because I'm determined for life not to keep me down, sad, depressed, or whatever.
At times, life definitely did try to keep Davies down. In December 2011, Kayla gave birth to the couple's first child, Mackenzie. But Ryan's worst fears were realized when doctors diagnosed her with the same eye condition he's dealt with his whole life.
Just that moment of hesitation, I was like, she has anterograde, doesn't she? And the doctor said, yeah. The doctor said, yeah, and I just, I had to turn around.
A reflection of her father, Mackenzie faced a lot of the similar struggles that Ryan had in his childhood, including her first surgery at 2 years old.
I remember her going down the hall and going, I'm sorry, Mackenzie, but you'll know what's about to happen. And she had that eye, you know, as she turned around that corner in the hallway, I slumped to the ground on the wall and just broke down crying because I knew what was about to happen. You know, one of her first surgeries.
From that surgery, Ryan took his life lessons and applied them to her.
He was a great dad. He stayed at home with Mackenzie, and he was just a great role model for her, did activities with her to kind of blossom her not being able to see and blossom her other senses.
3 years after Mackenzie's birth, Grayson came into the world. But not long after his birth came devastating medical news. Within weeks, the family learned Grayson had myotubular myopathy, with a life expectancy of only 2 years.
I mean, he just overcame so much being in the hospital, you know, just fighting through breath. You know, whenever he got his trach clogged, you know, he just fought.
The Davies were determined to make the best life they could for Grayson. Kayla even made a list of adventures for him.
We wanted to go to Hawaii. I wanted to take him to the Disneyland and World. We went to some Royals games, and then after we moved here, we went to like 4 spring training games. I'm glad we did it because it was tough to do it. It was like lugging a hospital around with us. But I'm grateful for him.
The memories of Grayson and thoughts of Mackenzie run alongside Ryan at every event. And Mackenzie has started to keep pace with her dad, even running her own races, thanks to her hero.
Dad is my best friend ever.
Through all the trials, Davies doesn't break stride by doing what his headband says, never giving up.
Davies said that every medal he earns goes straight to Mackenzie.
Next up here on Cronkite Sports Report.
Hilinski's hope aims to give college athletes the mental support they need.
Plus, the story of a former All-Star looking to revamp his major league career.
Welcome back to Cronkite Sports Report. After Washington State quarterback Tyler Hilinski took his own life in 2018, those who knew him decided they needed to do more.
Our Grace Fuerte caught up with an Arizona State Sun Devil working to honor his childhood friend.
ASU's first baseman Spencer Torkelson played Little League in California growing up. This is where he was first introduced to Christine Hilinski Lombardi. Now, many years later, Torkelson is teaming up with Christine by joining the Hilinski's Hope Student Advisory Board and representing ASU.
Hilinski Hope is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to make it easier for student athletes to get help if needed, if they're struggling with a mental illness.
Hilinski's Hope was created after Washington State quarterback Tyler Hilinski died by suicide. His family and close friends created the organization to keep Tyler's memory alive and generate funding to support programs that destigmatize mental illness. Recently, they teamed up with the NCAA Sports Science Institute to gain a larger platform after they realized the lack of resources surrounding collegiate athletes.
Ryan Davies, the medical director for the NCAA, wanted to develop a partnership with Hilinski's Hope and go forward at not just helping each individual school, but how can we help all the NCAA member institutions. He liked what we were doing, and they knew they needed help.
For an athlete, they're also quickly navigating who they are in sport, figuring out if they're going to play, having to step up in a new arena where they're playing with a lot of the best of the best. All of those things are different for a student athlete.
Athletes do struggle at all levels with stress and like all the pressure. Sometimes it's not as visible, you know, like Tyler, he was struggling in silence.
Athletes are really good at pushing through things, and so sometimes they don't always ask for help because they feel like this is something else that they can push through.
One focus of the NCAA is to provide student athletes and coaches with education regarding mental health. Hilinski Lombardi said that their motto is to help someone who doesn't need it rather than miss someone who does. They hope that in 2 years, the NCAA will have programs and resources available on all campuses for student athletes struggling with mental health.
They're trying to reach out to all NCAA schools, start small and then grow it to be big one day.
We're trying to come up with a really good, well-rounded plan that incorporates the face-to-face training along with best practices and how best to implement that. So that's really what the partnership is about.
I think that anything that is broadening beyond one university has influence, and so the mere energy of organizations collecting to connect with most universities as it relates to mental health is always a powerful force.
The influence of Hilinski's Hope is only continuing to grow. In Phoenix, Grace Fuerte, Cronkite Sports Report.
Hilinski's Hope is challenging everyone to do 3 burpees for their number 3, showing that we can get up for those who are down.
Next on Cronkite Sports Report.
A 2-time World Series champion leaves the country to try to keep his major league career going. Following a disappointing season for Hunter Pence in 2018, his tenure with the San Francisco Giants ended abruptly.
Many wondered what was next for the 35-year-old 3-time All-Star. Rob Werner went out to surprise to find out.
Hunter Pence is enjoying spring training with the Texas Rangers after signing a minor league contract with the team on February 7th.
I want to bring everything I can. I want to bring good play, as much experience as I can, and as much enthusiasm, good attitude, and just come with it.
For 6.5 years, the 35-year-old played for the San Francisco Giants as a vocal leader of 2 World Series winning teams. In 2018, though, Pence's production dipped. He had just .226, the lowest batting average of his career. When the Giants decided to not re-sign the veteran, Pence knew he had to do something bold to show he could stay in professional baseball. While many big leaguers take some time off and away from the game during the offseason, Pence decided to go to the Dominican Professional Baseball League to fight for an opportunity in Major League Baseball. Even though this league is mainly viewed as a place for rookies and those hoping to gain their first opportunity, the 12-year veteran didn't care. In fact, he loved his time there.
Man, it was a life-changing experience. It was awesome. I was just like immersed in a good time and lucky that they had a league. And it's intense. These games the fans are going nuts. So it was definitely a wonderful experience, and I'm glad I got the opportunity to play there.
Pence was the only former MLB All-Star to play in the Dominican League this winter. According to minorleaguebaseball.com, in the last 10 years, only 3 other former All-Star position players spent a winter in the league.
A lot of guys would probably just prefer to go home, especially the physical and mental toll that it takes on you, and he's still got a desire to play.
Obviously everyone knows Hunter Pence, and for me I saw a video this offseason of him in the Dominican and like singing in Spanish, and I was like, man, that guy's really cool. He's a veteran, he's down there, getting his work in the Dominican.
I think it's very important for the guy, for people to see that. The guy, he got a lot of money, he's been around forever, and try to adjust something in his game plan. So I think it was big for the fans down in Dominican.
Pence's manager with the Giants, Bruce Bochy, called Pence one of his favorite players and said his time in the Dominican is another example of Pence's passion for the game.
This guy still loves the game, wants to play, and I don't blame him. You know, and until you think you've had enough, you got to give it your all. And for him, that was to go to winter ball and get some at bats.
That's just him. I mean, he wants to do those things. He doesn't care about how many years you got in the league and all that stuff and going over there. He wants to do it because he wants to better himself. That's just the person that Hunter is.
While Spanish is the dominant language in the Dominican League, Pence picked up bits and pieces and still found a way to connect with his teammates.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he'll find a way to communicate with the boys, definitely. And, you know, just his energy and his personality. He doesn't need to speak the language to transmit that good personality in a positive way. And I feel like he did amazing.
That's a good thing about him. You know, he always have fun. He always takes the step to do something different. You know, I thought people love him there.
And it appears that after a month with his Rangers teammates, they love him here too.
And you see a guy who's a veteran who, you know, at the end of the day really doesn't have that much to prove anymore. I mean, he's already won rings. He's already been there, done that, and he's out here, first one here, busting his ass every day. It's pretty impressive to see that.
For Pence, he didn't view going to the Dominican League as anything extraordinary. He even feels fortunate to have played there.
Trying to reinvent myself, improved, changed my swing a little bit, and to have such a good level of competition in a league that's put together as good as that, it was a beautiful opportunity. I was very lucky to get out there and play ball.
Now, with the Dominican League experience, Pence hopes the winter he spent helps him make the Rangers' opening day roster in his 13th season. Reporting in Surprise, Arizona, Rob Warner, Cronkite Sports Report.
That'll do it for this episode of Cronkite Sports Report. As always, thanks for tuning in.
From all of us here at our downtown studio, see you next time.